In the late 19th century, an evil swept across the great western frontier, caused by the pursuit and obsession of one man. A man by the name of Leonard Callahan. Leonard Callahan was a man of science and understanding. As a wealthy plantation owner at Callahans Manor, he enjoyed horse riding and hunting among other things. Callahan was married to Catherine and the two had a daughter, Dolores, shortly after. Callahan was a stern employer. As a man with an aggressive behavior, he was short-tempered with his servants and workers. Although as wealthy and powerful as he was, his legacy was about to end. The story begins in the summer of 1888, when Callahan went on a hunting trip into the forest. Mysteriously, he finds a skull of an ancient creature, the remains of an old urban legend. A vicious creature known as the Wendigo. Unknowingly to Callahan, this discovery would be his inevitable end. As Callahan takes the skull with him, the magic of its presence attracts him, slowly building up an impenetrable obsession. By the time he returns back to the manor, he stashes it in his attic, beginning his lifelong pursuit to unlock its power. Callahan begins a series of journal entries to document his findings. On the 22nd of June, 1888, he writes, "I'm not sure what I do and do not remember now. As much as I can recount, I will chronicle in a series of notes. I was, by nature, a man of science, a skeptic. Alas, I now seem to be fascinated by superstition. There is something curious about it, a looming aura, which quells my better judgment. The Wendigo of savage legend, the product of greed's consumption. I can't help but to press further. It's as if it wants to be found as much as I'm drawn to find it." Callahan quickly falls into a deep obsession as he spends countless hours researching about its mysteries. As he dives deeper and deeper into this ongoing pursuit, he loses touch with his family. Before he knows it, his reputation, work, and life begin to fade away. On the 3rd of July, 1888, he writes once more, describing his current situation. "I have read much of this beast over the past month. I believe I've found a way to call it. Catherine persists that I leave it alone, but I've come too far. This is too important. The skull in the attic. It is the key to everything. If I follow the legends correctly, that is where I must begin." Callahan eventually turns to sacrificing. Starting with animals and other critters, he desperately searches for answers. Though, after turning up with no results, he finally understands what he needs to do. On August 1888, he writes, "I performed the rituals. I studied the texts. Alas, to no avail. The subjects were soulless, barren vessels. It isn't enough. Every great discovery comes at great sacrifice. I am doing this for us, and she will understand that." Callahan, now radicalized, takes his obsession so far that it results in the death of his wife. Now realizing what he's done, he flees from his home in grief, leaving the manor abandoned, now haunted by the ghost of his wife. Callahan writes his final entry, "I'm afraid I don't have much time left. I can feel reality slipping away. I'm beginning to forget who she was, who I was. I'm tormented. I can't sleep. I should have laid her to rest. But I'm too far gone. They're here for me now. I only wish I could apologize. Some things are better left untouched." In his disappearance, he morphs into the horrid Wendigo himself, raining terror and fright across the western frontier. After his wrath, Callahan's daughter inherits the plantation, starting a ranch where she begins her own business of selling horses. She remains as the last surviving member of the Callahan family, not only inheriting the plantation, but also the family's history.